All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to break down a framework that's all about making a huge shift in your life, moving from what they call a starter mindset to becoming a legacy leader. And believe it or not, it all starts with one powerful habit.
I mean, does that sound familiar? It's this trap so many of us fall into. You work harder and harder, but that feeling of being in control, of feeling at peace, it just always seems like it's just around the corner. It's this endless cycle of stress, and it's exhausting.
So what if you could flip that script? What if instead of just dealing with whatever life throws at you, you could actually be the architect? You could be the one designing your days, your weeks, your future. That's the core question we're tackling today.
Okay, so first, we've got to talk about something most of us do without even realizing it, living life on default.
And let's be super clear here. The problem is not that you aren't working hard enough. No way. You can be the hardest working person in the room, but if you're just spinning your wheels, you're not going anywhere. The real missing piece isn't more effort, it's a system.
And that's exactly where this whole idea of needing a system comes into play. So let's actually dig into what that path to real prosperity looks like.
You know, when we hear the word prosperity, most of us immediately think about money, right? A big bank account. But what's so powerful here is how this redefines it. True prosperity? Well, that's something much bigger. It's about clarity, balance, peace, a life that feels aligned.
So, how do you actually build this kind of holistic, prosperous life? Well, the whole system stands on 4 core pillars. Think of it like a sturdy table. You need all 4 legs to be strong, or the whole thing gets wobbly.
And here they are. You've got wealth, which is all about getting clarity and discipline with your finances. Then there's health, your energy, your vitality. Happiness, which really comes down to your relationships and that sense of inner peace. And finally, spirituality, that connection to your purpose, your why. You see how they all have to work together?
Okay, that all sounds great, but how do you actually do it? You know, day in and day out. Well, it all starts with the heart of this system, the 5:15 a.m. engine.
And I gotta say, I love this metaphor. The 5:15 a.m. club isn't just some gimmick about waking up at the crack of dawn. It's the engine room. It's where you go every single morning to generate the power, the focus, and the clarity you need to run the rest of your day effectively. This just hits the nail on the head, right? A pro athlete doesn't just roll out of bed and onto the field for the championship game. No, they have a routine. They warm up, they get their head in the game. That's exactly what this morning routine is. It's your daily warm-up for life.
All right, so what's really going on in this engine room? Let's pull back the curtain and see the actual practices that make this whole thing work.
It really boils down to 3 key things. First, you just show up. Every day. That's how you build the discipline and clarity. Second, you're not just winging it. You're using real, proven tools to actively design your life. And third, and this is huge, you do it with a community. You're not alone.
So to be clear, this isn't about just sitting in a quiet room hoping for the best. Nope. People are actively using guided frameworks for life planning. They're designing their finances around their actual goals, they're working on their mindset, their habits, and they have people to hold them accountable. It's active work.
And this is so important. We've all been there, right? You get a great idea, a new plan, you're all fired up, but trying to do it all by yourself, it's tough. The motivation fades. That's where the tribe comes in.
Imagine being surrounded by people who are on the exact same path, who get what you're trying to do. They're not competing with you, they're cheering you on, holding you accountable, and lifting you up. That kind of ecosystem makes all the difference.
So you put all this together, the daily habit, the tools, the community. What's the end game? Well, it's nothing short of a total transformation. Just look at this journey laid out right here. You go from fear and confusion to clarity and confidence. You stop reacting to life and start designing it. Financial stress gets replaced by financial peace. And that feeling of isolation, it's gone, replaced by a real community. It's a complete shift.
And we're not just talking about feeling good. These are real, tangible results. We're talking about people finally getting financial clarity, creating wealth plans that actually make sense for their goals, having better conversations with their families, and just feeling that sense of peace that comes from knowing you're on the right track.
But here's the thing that ties it all together. Yeah, building wealth is part of it, for sure. But the real prize, the ultimate goal, it's about becoming a better version of yourself. The money, the health, the happiness, those are all byproducts of you becoming more disciplined, more focused, and more purposeful.
And this really says it all, doesn't it? Prosperity isn't some finish line you cross one day and then you're done. It's a lifestyle. It's the system you run and the way you choose to live day in and day out.
So, as we finish up here, that's the real question for you. Every single day is a blank page. Your next chapter is totally unwritten. The real question is, how are you going to start writing it?